Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Var. We're gonna be talking to one of my peoples. All right, I personally know him. His name is Derek Starling. All right, he's a heavyweight right now. He had his pro debut a couple weeks ago against a Ruiz, a young man named Ruiz, also a pro. He had two fights. Um, got a unanimous decision win. All right, he was going for the knockout, but he wasn't able to get it. But he beat him handily. Okay, he beat him handily. All right, we talked to him about some things that are going on in boxing, what inspire him. We also got some insight on how he feels about the Bud Crawford Spence situation. You know what I mean? We also got some insight on how he feels about the business side of it. Um, Also, Glovegate with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Okay, we're gonna get some insight on how an actual boxer feels about these things. All right, so just take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? We're just getting this information out there. Again, look up Derek Starling. Okay, great boxer, smooth, big man. All right, here we go. First of all, let the audience know what are your dimensions? How tall are you? What's your weight? What's your weight?
I'm 6'5". I fight in the heavyweight division, so that's 201 plus. So you could come in at 201 and heavier. So from 201 pounds to 300 or 400 pounds, whatever you want to come in at, that's what you can come in at.
So this
Right
man,
now, I'm at like 260 right now. So I'm working to get down to 245.
so tell me one thing, yo. What made you get into boxing? Like, what age did you decide to, step into the ring and let's get violent?
All right, so I started boxing when I was like maybe I want to say maybe 11 or 12. I was more into basketball, but when it was like off season, my dad was like, "Yo, let's try boxing or whatever." And I was living in Trenton at the time, so I wound up going to this gym called Goss and Goss. It was in South Philly. It was right next to the Boys and Girls Club, which we used to go to the Boys and Girls Club after school.
Mm.
So my dad was like, "Yo, just trying out boxing, whenever something to do." So I started doing it. I'm like, "Yo, I kind of like it." Like, what I'm saying? Like I was having fun with it. I was learning. And then I kind of stopped because basketball came back around. And once basketball came back around, it was like, that was my first love. So I'm
Right.
going back to basketball. So I kind of fell away from boxing. And then after, high school, then I played in college. And then after, like, I seen that, basketball wasn't going nowhere after that. I kind of like was just chilling and partying and shit. But then, like, I'm like, yo, I got to get a routine back in my life. Like, I got to get structured. And the
Right.
only time I had any structure in my life was when I was playing sports. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I know I can't play basketball. I know I'm not going overseas and all like that. So you know what? Let me get back into boxing. Like, I enjoyed it. And then one thing led to another. I wanted to be a Golden Glove champion. I'm like, you know what? Golden Glove champion.
That's dope, man. You won five. You won five Golden Gloves and one
Correct.
Diamond Glove championship, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
after watching this fight of yours that you had your pro debut last weekend, right? Last
Yep.
Saturday.
Yep. February
Um
6th. Yep.
yeah, you got all three judges to give you the nod, bro. You got all three judges to give you the nod. And my question to you is, what was the feeling that you had once you got that win? What was the feeling that came over
I,
you?
I was happy. I was happy with it. You're your own work. You're your biggest critic.
Of
So
course.
I was in there like, and I want to make sure because I wanted to stop him. Like I didn't want to leave it in the judge's hands because I don't want to. That feeling of being robbed is a feeling that like you really don't get over. You really don't want that to happen to you again.
Right,
So
right.
I was trying to stop, but he was a tough fighter. And when they first said it, they first gave it. It was like the one judge gave it like a 39. It was like a 39-37, something like that. I'm like, damn, they gave him a round. I was like, oh,
Right.
this
I
this
saw
ain't
that.
this
I
ain't
saw
looking.
that.
When I heard that first, I'm like, oh, this ain't looking good.
Yeah.
And then I heard the other two. There was like 40-40. I'm like, all right, bet. And I'm like, they said unanimous. I said, yeah, there's no way they're gonna give him that fight. And then they gave it to me. Like I still get nervous hearing decisions until like you hear like all the judges because I've been robbed quite a few times, and I'm like, I kind of get nervous, no
That's
doubt. So
that's something I've been noticing too. That I also I love the sport of boxing, and I've been getting into basically more of the politics of boxing
mhm.
ever since I saw the interview between Floyd Mayweather and Brian Kenny. I
uh,
started really realizing the politics in boxing. So, with that being said, knowing that no one wanted to give credit to Floyd Mayweather when he had his wins and he was moving up and doing his thing, and they know like they'll do anything to discredit you as long as you're doing good. Like as long as you're
Correct,
doing
correct.
good, they'll do anything to discredit you. Knowing the politics in boxing, like how do you go about it? Like as far as like you planning out your career in the pros, like how do you go about it and what's your mindset going into it? Like
Well, I told myself I'm gonna just take it one fight at a time. Like I'm not gonna overlook nothing. Whatever fight I got lined up, that's the fight I'm focusing on. That's the person I'm focusing on. I'm not looking further down the road. As far as the politics, it be clear cut to people, and real people gonna understand. Like, you know what, he got robbed. Like, there's a few people like, yo, he got robbed. Like, he wouldn't have had two losses or one loss if they wouldn't have robbed him two times in them two
right,
fights. You know what I'm saying? People know that, and to me, it's cool. Like, I'm a fighter, so I'm like, listen, if I put my heart out and I get robbed, there's nothing I can do because that's the judge's decision. The judges seen it their way. But people who watch boxing and who are fans of it, they like, yo, nah, he got robbed. Like,
exactly.
and it's a few fights that you be watching, like, nah, he got
And
robbed. Like,
when I look at you as a fighter, like, I'm a big fan. Like I said, I'm a big fan of fighters. I love the heavyweight division, and wherever the heavyweights go, that's where boxing goes. Now, when I
correct.
say
That's what he said.
when I look at you, you're a big man with power, and and you're slick. You have a slick American style, pro style boxing style. You know what I mean? What what made you into that boxing? Like, who influenced you? What pros?
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody always says that it's just a natural thing for me. Like, I've never tried to be this way. Like, I've always been this way. Like, I watch, of course, you watch a lot of the greats. Ali, you watch George Foreman, you can watch Sugar Ray, you can watch a lot of fighters. Even sorry, I get a brain fart. Roy Jones.
Oh
I
yeah,
watch a lot of those guys.
hmm
I know I can never do what they do.
right,
You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't mimic my style after them. Like, it's
right,
no way, shape, or form.
yep,
But I can always do drills and have good footwork or have good movement. So I just try to work on everything. Like, I want to be the complete fighter. So I
yep,
work on everything. And it just makes, like, I think in there. So it makes it a lot easier when you just move around. 'Cause a lot of guys expect you to just get in the ring and you want to have a slugfest.
yep.
I'm not about to have a slugfest unless that's like literally my last option, because there's no point. Like Floyd said, you want to leave the sport of boxing on your own, not somebody retire you.
So, who are your favorite boxers? All right, give
My
me three,
favorite.
give me your three favorite boxers.
Oh, three. Oh, that's easy. That's
Yeah,
easy.
hold on, hold on, wait, no matter
That's
what weight
easy.
class is that.
I was going look. I was going to tell you. My top three. I got Ali.
Okay.
I got Ali, Roy Jones, and Sugar Ray.
Oh,
Oh,
that
like
is
that's
easy. Oh, that
yeah.
is
That was
easy.
easy. Yeah, that's
Okay.
easy.
And that brings me to another point, or a segue into another question. Um, in the past, there were great fighters that never fought each other, right? And right now, there are some great fighters that are not fighting each other right now, right? So
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what fighters right now do you think need to fight? Like what fighters are
I,
you looking
I'm,
at right now that need to fight? What are your dream fights
I'm,
right now?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was brought up in the era of, and this is I was always taught, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's the mindset. That's the mindset I always carry. So I don't like. I mean, I understand a lot of other people do because it's kind of bigger than boxing. But I don't like the fact that people they don't fight, or they try to make excuses, because I'm very competitive. So I want to see if I'm better than you. Like, if you talk about this guy and he's all that, I want to go fight this guy, see if he's really all that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
See who's better. It's a competition, so it's like ain't no hard feelings. Ain't like we got a beef afterwards. It's just like, I want to go fight you because I want to. They said you was good, so I want to see how good you really are. See if I'm better
Right.
than you.
Right.
Me personally, I think all the top guys that just fight each other is literally in 135 is literally five or six top guys that's not really trying to fight each other. At 147, you already know what that big. You already know Crawford and Spence. That's the biggest fight out there.
It's the biggest fight.
Even in Canelo, you got the Canelo, you got the Charlos, you got what's the boy that just won?
Oh, Plant, Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant, Billy
Yeah.
Saunders. You
Yeah,
got
Billy Joe.
Charlo. The division is set up, and they really can fight each other, but with the promotional and the money situation, it's like they kind of like use that as an excuse. Me personally, I don't like it. I'm not really a fan of it. But
Right.
I kind of understand it when they explain it to you. Like, listen, I want this money, I want that money. This is what I think I deserve. They try to like, all right, like you got to respect what somebody says. So, all right, no problem.
Getting into the Crawford and Spence argument here, the fact that Crawford would like more money, or is he not going to fight Spence? I mean, in my eyes, Spence has been carrying the weight of the welterweights right now. He's been carrying the welterweights and the sport. To keep it real, he's the one that's been coming and fighting all the top fighters.
I'm gonna tell you with this one, and I've been Spence is one of my favorite fighters. I've been watching Spence since he first started out. Now they were ducking Spence, not trying to give him no shot at all. Like
Right?
he had to fight a lot of guys, and they was not trying to give him no type of title shot, nothing. He got the title shot and he took it, and and now he's like strutting his stuff. Like, nah, I'm the top guy. You gotta do what I say.
Yep.
I understand where Bud is coming from, but I kind of feel like if you feel as though you're the best, and you just make the deal. You can
And,
make money on the back end somewhere else. Make the deal
yep.
because now it'll be your turn to go. Nah, I won both titles. If he wins, is oh nah, I got both titles, or I got all four titles. I want this, I want that. But those guys, they want a lot up front, and I get it. They worked hard and they want what they want. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I feel as though they need to fight each other. Like, it needs to be something needs to come about. Even 50-50 split. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with the 50-50 split.
We
Y'all
ain't
both
doing
two.
we ain't doing a 50-50 split. And they ain't doing no 50-50 split unless Terence Crawford fights somebody with a name, or an actual welterweight with a name, like a Keith Thurman, Pacquiao, or Sean Porter. Those are the guys that are open to him to fight, and he's not
Yeah,
fighting. You know what I mean? So,
I agree.
all
I agree.
right,
Like,
how do you feel about the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder series or trilogy or debacle that's going on now? So,
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought Theory won. Like, and this is just me because I'm a heavyweight. I kind of like those. I look at those guys' competition.
yep.
So I really don't really get too much into. But I thought Tyson Fury won the first one. I
Okay.
really thought Tyson Fury won the first one.
Okay.
Okay, they gave him a draw. Okay, he came back. He clearly won the second one.
Mm.
And then I think it's just bad character for Deontay Wilder to blame everybody else, but to sit there and say, I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do what I needed to do. So at this point, it's like, I don't even want to watch the trilogy, the third fight, because it's like, it's either they're going to give you a fight or, it's just not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Like, I don't know. I just don't
You
think that.
a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel.
I just think that if I was Tyson Fury, I'd be like, yo, I'm out. Like, I don't need to. I'm going on to the next biggest name, and I'm about to fight the next biggest name, and go from there, and keep my career going. Is no, I would never want somebody to define my career by one thing. Like, if I was to be in a position, like, yo, I fought him twice. I arguably beat him the first time. Second time, I no doubt beat him. So there's no real point of giving you a third fight only because this is what Sean want. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what he cried for.
Well,
Nah,
it was in the contract though. It was in the
but
contract
yeah, but he
for a
had a certain
trilogy.
but he had a certain amount of days to sign off on it, right? From what I
All right,
heard, he had a certain amount of days to
yeah. So
sign
what
off
happened?
on it.
So what happened was is that they said that there was a deadline on the contract around October. All right, and
Yeah.
around that time before the contract expired, what happened was that Bob Arum and ESPN didn't want to even make the fight, even if they didn't want to make the fight because of pandemic. They wanted to have
Oh,
fans,
okay.
and there was sound bites. There's interviews saying that they didn't
Okay,
they
okay.
didn't
I
want to
get
make
why. Okay.
they didn't want to
Yeah.
make the fight because they wanted fans. It was too big of a
Yeah,
fight
it's
to
a
make
fight. Yeah,
fans.
correct, correct.
That's really the
But
way I
see,
feel about it.
it's gonna be hard for him to beat Fury. And me and my friends
Oh,
that
it is. Yeah, for sure.
we have this conversation all the time, and this is where you get the boxing fan and the boxer who's a
Yep.
fan.
Yep.
I tell them all the time, the puncher is never the brawler and the puncher is never really going to beat the boxer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for him because one thing a boxer knows is I can move.
Hmm.
And if I can move and you need me to be a stationary target, I'm gonna make it hard for you. Now, it's one of those things. You do get you got your Mike Tysons, but even Mike Tyson lost to the boxers.
Yes.
You get your punchers, you get the David Tuas and all those guys who are like big punchers, but they
Yeah.
lose to the boxer because once you start to move, that's so annoying for a
Certainly.
person. Like I know it's annoying because I've sparred a lot and they hate when I move around so much. It's like, bro, stop moving. Like I even had one person get so mad and go, "Why are you running so much?" And they're like, "I'm not running. I'm just moving around." Like
I
boxing,
told you, you a slick motherfucker. You a big
yo,
slick dude.
and they
Hey.
hate it so much. And it's
I
like
know.
all I'm doing is moving, using my angles, and pivoting here, stepping here. But
Yep.
they hate it so much because they just want to brawl with you.
Yep.
And I always say that brawling it's going to work when you got a guy who's like you got like I'll say Tyson. You got a Tyson, and then he's fighting a okay fighter. These aren't elite guys, probably not even in the top 10. He's going to beat that dude's ass 9 times out of 10 because that dude is just not equipped to deal with Tyson the way you
Right.
need to.
Right.
Now, when
Plus,
you're an
he's like
elite fighter,
7 foot too. God damn.
and then when you're an elite fighter and you're like a boxer, you know to move. Like you're not going to just sit there and wait for that shot. Like Deontay Wilder was trying to load up that right hand and
That
Tyson
first fight. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first fight and the second fight he was trying to, and Tyson Fury just moved. Tyson Fury just move. And you talking about a guy who's almost 7 foot, 300, almost 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And he just move. And you see what happened. And it is just one of those things where the slugger, he becomes at a disadvantage because he can't switch up. He can't, all he knows is the slug. All he knows is to walk forward and slug. And once that gets null and void, it's hard for him to change and switch into that. So now it's like, oh, I gotta just keep doing what I do. And now I'm taking shots, or now I'm taking punches. Now it's 3 or 4 punches I'm getting hit with. It wears down on you, man. It definitely wears down on you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with that, dog. I definitely want to see that third fight. I definitely want to see Crawford and Spence fight. I want to see Canelo finally fight somebody of some note. I want to see these
Yeah, I said the same
boxers.
thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see all of these great fights. Like I just
Me
want.
too. As a fan of boxing, I want to see those great fights too. Like I love the fact that people will be like, you know what? I'm gonna put my shit online. You put yours online. Let's see best man win.
Right.
No other boys. But in this day and age, it's nah. If I lose, I can't get this $1 million bonus. Or if I lose, they're not gonna give me this fucking this and the third. Like so, it's like they be kind of hesitant sometimes, and then even the promoters be kind of hesitant with stuff. So it's like, all right, like
They laid down the
what can you do?
blueprint. They laid down the blueprint again. Even though Tyson Fury and Wilder has a lot of controversy, there was the two of the best guys fought, and they were able to become rivals. Why don't these people want rivals anymore? They need
I don't know.
rivals. Like people don't want those trilogies and rivals, man. Hey man, listen, we need these fights. We need to start pushing all these big fights. At least I'm gonna try to push all these big fights. So right now, bro, this is gonna be my last question. We're gonna wrap it up. Where do you see your future at in the pro boxing game? Where do you see? What do you see for yourself?
Mm, world title fights, world titles, championship. Like I think I could do it. Like I think I can go win a belt, win 2 belts, win 3 belts. Shit, fuck it, win all of them. I just
Absolutely.
want to keep going. Like I know only thing that's not on my side is time. I know I came in a little bit older, so I'm not tripping over that. I don't feel it's old, but I know time catches up to everybody. So I
Yep.
just want to fight, get the best I can do.
Yep. Yep.
If I
No,
get title shots, if I get title shots and belts, I'm happy with that. If I don't, and I put out and I do great in boxing, I mean, win and have fun doing it, and I'm good with that. Like as long as I don't get hurt and all fucked up behind it, I'm good with that.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I want it, like I said, I want to keep like once I start, I want to just like I started this past Saturday. I want to keep that momentum going. I want to have another fight in another month or so.
Okay.
Keep it going from there. I want to keep the ball rolling. Like I just want to keep going better. But like I want my name to be mentioned with the greats. That's just my thing. Like amongst heavyweights, they be like, oh yeah, in 2020, in the 2020, and in the new millennium or whatever, Derek Starling was a great heavyweight.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. He was a heavyweight to look out for. He was one of those. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? I'm not the type of person. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to be mentioned with the legends, of course, yes. But I'm not about to sit there and go, yeah, like I need to be the thought about as the best of all time.
Right. Right.
Everybody's opinion is gonna be different.
Yep.
Like even with any sports, depending on their age and what era they grew up in, they're gonna give you a different goat or a different greatest person, greatest
Yep.
all time in that sport.
Yep.
People back in the 70s and 80s, they're gonna say Magic. They're gonna say Bird, one of those.
Oh, that's a
People
fact.
in the late 80s and 90s, they're gonna say MJ.
MJ. Yep.
Early
Yep.
2000s, they're gonna say Kobe.
Kobe. And then and nowadays it's
Now they're
LeBron.
gonna be LeBron, they're gonna start being Steph, they're gonna start
Yeah.
being KD. So it's like everybody, depending on what era they are, I just want to be mentioned like, yo, in boxing, heavyweight, Derek was a good, he was a bad man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he
Right.
was one of those dudes that was really a great fighter, a great champion. Well, that's really it for me. Like I just want to be known as a great fighter and a great champion. That's it.
Now, man, I believe you are. Like I said, you got the style for it, and you got the heart for it, and all that other shit, man. Yo, tell people where they can find you. Your Instagram, you got Snapchat,
Uh,
whatever.
my Insta- my Instagram is LO_LIFE_D. I'm thinking about changing it, but I just love that name so much, so I don't know if I'm gonna change it. But yeah, y'all can follow me on that. And then I got a fitness page. It's Star Fitness. It's S.T.A.R. I think it's underscore fitness, and it'll pop up. You'll see me up there, and I have the belts and the trophies and all that. So that'll be me. You can follow that page too. I post on both pages, and I'm just trying to keep the ball rolling pretty much with my pro career. Looking at my next fight soon, and looking to promote that and go from there.
Yo, man, if you guys looking at someone like I said, I personally feel like this dude got the goods. And maybe I might be a little bit biased. I know my man Coach Joe taught my man Coach Joe taught this man right. And again, I don't see a big man with your style like that. And that's why I want people to really tune into you. You know what I'm saying? I want people to tune into your style. Hopefully they get curious and want to see exactly what the hell I'm talking about. This big ass
Right.
260 pounds, 6'5" motherfucker fucking being slick and moving on bitches and using your power. Like I need people to see that stuff. Derek Starling, I appreciate you in this video and this recording. I'm gonna
Now I
put
appreciate you, Var. You know, you listen. You know, I always told you whenever you need, like you got it. I'll help out any way I can. That's
word up.
always been me, man. We've been cool since day one, so I help out any way I can help out, man.
Yo, I appreciate you. We're gonna end this off. Bar World Boxing. We out here.
All right, peace.